Hey folks, what's going on? Justin Masson here with Nintendo Dads. I've been playing Gunbrella for the last week, and I'm going to give you my 3 tips that you need to know before you jump into Gunbrella. Plus, I'm going to tell you whether I think it's worth your time. Spoiler alert, yes. Yes, it is. All right, so let's jump into, I've actually got the trailer set up, and the reason being, folks, as luck would have it, I'm playing Gunbrella, having a great time, and I'm starting to have some issues with my capture card, my capture unit, and I'm super frustrated, and we are hours before the embargo releases, so I want to make sure that I get this ready for you. So here we go. I'm going to play the trailer in the background, and I'm going to talk over it while we do it. And again, big thanks to Devolver Digital for providing us access, plus the fantastic folks over at Doinksoft Games who made this game. So one of the first things I'm going to say, let's talk about the tips, the 3 tips I'm going to give you for playing Gunbrella. Number 1, when you are killing enemies, specifically animals, you get like pelts and eyeballs. And I was thinking throughout the game that I was going to need those and craft them in some sort of way. You don't. You're not crafting them at all. You just end up collecting them. So when you get an opportunity and you find some shops, feel free to sell those pelts, and those animal pieces. Get money, use that money to buy gear and upgrade your Gunbrella and buy additional bandages and sort of like this little shop right here where you're able to upgrade as well. Now there's 2 types of currency in this game. There's gold coins and then there's these kind of sprockets, as you see here, the number 14. Those sprockets allow for you to upgrade your Gunbrella, which is great. You see some upgrades here. And then the coins are used to purchase stuff such as different type of ammos or bandage packs as well. So my number 1 tip, whenever you get to a shop, empty out your inventory of the animal pelts and eyeballs and honeycombs and bee pieces. You don't need that. Sell it, get the money, buy your bandages, buy your that stuff that you need, because that is going to be super handy. Next component that I'm going to say as well is the weapon for the Gunbrella. The Gunbrella, oh, actually, let's stop here. These boss fights, sorry, I'm bouncing around. These boss fights are hard. They are difficult, but by the way, you learn a lot every single time you do it, and you'll find the patterns. They're relatively easy to figure out after a couple times. They're definitely challenging. There's no doubt about it, and you're going to learn a lot about it. This boss here, this one took me like 6 or 8 tries to finally kill him. But here's a nice part. When you die, you get back in really, really fast. One of the things I really like about Gunbrella as well. So my number 2 item for your tips is actually talk to people. There are tons of villagers and people that you find along the way. Make sure you spend some time and talking to them. Here's some people right here, as a matter of fact, because if you ever get stuck in an area, you can't figure out where you maybe need to go, and you've talked to somebody, maybe go back and talk to them again. There are dialogue boxes in each and every single person. Some of the writing in here is so well done and so witty. Make sure you spend some time and talk to the people in the game. Talk to the NPCs. They're well written, and they very often show you tips and clues as to where you need to go next. So if you're blocked, go back and talk to some other people. They may actually provide you the key, the answer, the access password, the access card to go to your next area. So don't ever feel like you're one and done with those pieces as well, which is something that I would highly, highly recommend you double check that. So talk to people. That's my number tip. Talk to people. Very, very critical. All right. Let's see what else we got here. Gunbrella, out on the Nintendo Switch. So yeah, number 2, talk to people. My number 3 tip that I'm going to use for you is that when you're playing Gunbrella, you are going to get additional weapons that are part of your arsenal for Gunbrella. And I don't want to tell you what they are because I don't want you to spoil them here, but sometimes I forget that I have those with me. Your Gunbrella can do various amounts of different weapons or different abilities that it has. And so sometimes you should look at using some of the options or features or additional weapons associated with Gunbrella to make your Gunbrella, to make your job easier to be able to get through an area. So my number 3 tip, when you get additional features or weapons or ammo associated with Gunbrella, those can come in handy in some of those tricky spots. So make sure you check that out. So those are my 3 pro tips. Let's talk about Gunbrella now. I'm going to rewind I'm going to rewind the footage here. We're going to start again. Hold on. Boom. There we go. Folks, listen, I fantastically enjoyed this game. Gunbrella runs between 6 to 8 hours. Took me, give or take, just a little over 7 hours to finish it. The graphic art style, what they're able to do with sort of this solemn backgrounds. I love the use of the art, the pixel, the colors. It told a really compelling story. The very beginning cuts off with a very nice prologue, essentially black and white, some sharp colors of red to help you understand what happened, and begins to kind of be the prologue for our hero's journey, which I think is really, really incredible to kind of go along as well. So, it's a beautifully well done game. Using the Gunbrella, like this kind of floating around and so easily, smooth, slipping around. I actually want to back up a second here. Hold on. Bingo. We're gonna stop there. Able to easily navigate around the areas. I mean, one moment you're falling and you're using your Gunbrella to kind of slowly navigate your way down, and the next minute you're using it to dash over to the right, and the next minute you're hitting somebody with it and pushing it. The next moment you're blocking shots. The next moment you're using it to zip across these lines across the stage. The use of the Gunbrella as a kind of, and it says here, the multi-tool of the trade is so cool and feels so great when you do it well, and allows for you just to navigate the world in a really fluid way. It feels very, very cool, which is awesome. The transit map, this is cool. These are the areas that you go to, these 4 locations that you're gonna go back and forth as well. Again, the art style is really lovely. Lots of vibrant colors, lots of exploration that you get to go around in. Other thing I really, really like about it, the checkpoints are super frequent. You want a bonus tip? Here's your bonus tip. If for some odd reason you're coming out of an area and maybe you've got like 1 heart left and you've got a bandage pack and you're like, maybe I'm going to use a bandage pack, but you're walking to the edge of the screen like you're about to advance to the next area, go to the next area before you use your bandage pack, because there may be a save point right there, and every save point refills your life. The checkpoints are really, really frequent. I was able to do a first look, and in the first 10 minutes, I had 3 different checkpoints. Now, I'll tell you, the further you get in, some of the areas, the deeper you get in, the more challenging the game does definitely get at different times. I was at times like, oh, please let there be a checkpoint. Please let there be a checkpoint. Oh, there's no checkpoint. I got to use my bandage pack. So this is also why using the funds, the coins that you have earlier to buy more health and more bandage packs are really a critical tip. So that's why I would highly recommend doing those things. Let's also talk about difficulty, actually. 3 different levels of difficulty: hard, normal, and easy. When you log in, it actually defaults to hard. So I played the game on normal. And like I said, about a little over 7 and a bit hours. I died. There was definitely times that I died. There's no doubt about it. So it's not a cakewalk. There's definitely some areas in the level that you're going to go back. It's not quite Metroidvania, but there's areas that you're going to go back. The design for levels are really smart. If you have solved a problem and you need to go back to do something, so you've solved how to rescue someone, getting back to them is actually, they have nice little shortcuts through the level that you had seen earlier. Like, oh, why is that there? How do I get there? Well, by the way, that's the way you quickly get back to solve. So some fantastic level design as well. Let's keep going on here. I mentioned before, so this is a great example using the Gunbrella. We'll go back a second there. So sorry, hold on. The environment puzzles will kill the enemies themselves. So look at this. This is a great example. They're going to shoot themselves. Boom. You don't even need to work that hard sometimes. So use the environmental puzzles and challenges to your advantage. There are like barrels that explode. Shoot the barrels. Shoot them towards someone as opposed to having to get yourself out of a difficult situation. By the way, this minecart area so reminded me of Donkey Kong Country when I played it as a kid, and I loved every single moment of it, and it was a ton of fun. Not to spoil everything as well. Some fantastic writing. The characters are interesting. These boss battles are challenging. You are going to die several times in these boss battles, but they're a ton of fun. You learn, and when you finish them, when you complete them, they are rewarding and feel freaking awesome. That one right there is a great example of it. And so, don't feel defeated. They also do a really great job of, before a big boss battle, here's a checkpoint, here's some extra hearts to get you ready. Really cool narrative. The story is really compelling and very interesting, told in some great scenes and cutaways. Again, 6 to 8 hours. Folks, I had a fantastic time playing Gunbrella. I've enjoyed every single moment of it. I would highly, highly recommend you pick it up. You are going to enjoy Gunbrella and your 6 to 8 hours experience with it. Highly recommend it. It's got the Nintendo Dad's thumbs up, seal of approval. Ladies and gentlemen, check out Gunbrella. This has been my 3 tips and also my kind of rambling review of Gunbrella. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.